We have successfully transferred the layout which is there on the computer onto the copper clad sheet. We have seen different methods for transferring the layout from the computer to the copper clad sheet. We have discussed about the manual printing, we have discussed about photo printing, and we have detailedly discussed about different steps involved in screen printing. Out of these steps in the screen printing, we are now discussing the etching process and cleaning and drilling process. Now in the etching process, when our copper clad sheet is ready, when the layout is transferred to the copper clad sheet, unwanted copper is there on this copper clad sheet. We wanted to remove this unwanted copper. This is like why we are removing unwanted copper. This is a copper clad sheet. On this copper clad sheet, this is copper. On this copper, we have transferred some layout. Maybe this is the PCB artwork. Maybe this is the PCB layout. These two lines are representing the PCB layout. So except at these two places, we are expecting entire remaining surface should be the insulator. But this surface now is copper, pure conductor, and the layout which we have drawn is ink. When we are using this copper clad sheet for the etching, this copper clad sheet is reacting with the etchant. What is the etchant we are using? Maybe ferric chloride. Okay, if we are using either ferric chloride or chromic acid or alkaline ammonia chloride, any etchant, then that ferric chloride reacts with this copper and makes this conductor as insulator. So this chemical process by which we are making the copper conductor as an insulator means we are removing the unwanted copper. We are not physically removing the unwanted copper. We are not removing either by using any tool, but we are removing this copper by using the chemical reaction. That's why etching is the chemical process by which we are removing the unwanted copper. Sir, if we are removing the unwanted copper, what happens to this ink? This will not react with the ferric chloride. So after removing the unwanted copper, when we rub in the manual process by using the scrub, then if we rub this layout, whatever the ink that is there, that will come out. And behind this ink, copper is there. Now we observe the copper track. So only the copper is remaining behind this ink, and remaining in the remaining place, the entire copper is converted to insulator. By this process, we are keeping the copper conductor track, and in the remaining area, we are making that part as an insulator. So this process is called as etching. There are different methods to perform this etching. Now we will discuss one by one those different methods. The first one is hand through etching. In this hand through etching, as the name suggests, this generally we use for the manual etching process. We take a plastic tray. In this plastic tray, we will keep ferric chloride solution, which is etchant. In this ferric chloride solution, whatever the copper clad sheet, we have transferred the layout onto the copper clad sheet. That copper clad sheet we are keeping in this tray. We agitate this solution in order to make sure that the ferric chloride reacts with the copper clad properly, and also etching time should be reduced. For that, we agitate by using hand that tray. So this process is called as hand through etching. This process is called as hand through etching. It is like when you are cooking food. You take one instrument in order to make sure that the fire should be distributed to entire region. You rotate that food dish with some instrument. Similarly, we are here making that the entire copper should react with the ferric chloride uniformly. For that, we are agitating the liquid, agitating the ferric chloride etchant. That's why this is called as hand through etching. It generally takes 5 to 10 minutes time, but it may also take more than 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes also in the laboratories when we are working with, we observe. If we observe properly, it may take nearly 15 minutes also sometimes. And the second one is bubble etching. As the name suggests, in this etching, we send bubbles. Still we are taking the ferric chloride only. But we create the bubbles in the ferric chloride solution, and these bubbles are coming out, and because of this forced bubbles coming out and hitting the copper clad sheet, etching will be done. This process takes nearly 5 minutes, half of the hand through etching, and it is also cost effective. And the third etching is splash etching. Splash, as the name suggests, we are splashing something by using some centrifugal force. By using the centrifugal force, if we splash the ferric chloride liquid, and because of this splashing, if etching is done, then that type of etching is called as splash etching. It generally takes 2 to 3 minutes to complete the etching process. And the fourth one is ultrasonic etching. In this we send the ultrasonic waves. Sonic means sound. 20 Hz to 20 kHz. This is the audible sound. If we send any signal below the 20 Hz range, below the 20 Hz frequency, if we observe any sound signal, that is called as infrasonic signal. Infra, before 20 Hz. And if we have any sound wave greater than 20 kHz, that is called as ultrasonic. So this is sound only, but our human ear is not able to perceive this sound. We use this ultrasonic whenever in the scanning, whenever to detect some abnormality in the stomach region where it is very sensitive, which we do not find anything by using X-ray, where we cannot use the X-ray, then we will go with the ultrasonic scanning. In the medical terminology, they will use this ultrasonic scanning, and also to detect some flaws in the metals whenever they are manufacturing a big 1 kg iron, 1 ton iron. In that iron, whether there is any flaw or not, we do not know. Whether if there is any flaw in this wall or not, we do not know. We have to hit or we have to break that. Without breaking, if we send the ultrasonic wave and it reflects, and based on that distance we can measure whether there is a flaw or not in this particular metal. Similarly, here we are using the same ultrasonic wave, which is a sound wave, for the etching. Then this type of etching is called as ultrasonic etching. This ultrasonic etch is much faster than compared to remaining etching processes. And the last etching is spray etching. Spray etching is the fastest etching technique. It sprays the etchant, ferric chloride, uniformly onto the copper clad sheet. And out of all these processes, etching is done uniformly in the effective manner in the spray etching. Okay, we have discussed about the hand through etching. In this, etching is done where we will take one tray and we agitate the etchant. In the bubble etching, we will send the bubbles. In splash etching, we splash the etchant by using the centrifugal force. In ultrasonic etching, we send the ultrasonic waves. In the spray etching, we spray the etchant. Okay, right. These are the different types of etching techniques. Next one, cleaning. Now, after removing the unwanted copper, we cannot directly take that PCB into our hands because this is contaminated with the ferric chloride. Now, we have to wash that. Simple water wash is not sufficient. 5% oxalic acid solution we will take. That 5% oxalic acid solution we use to clean this PCB. This 5% oxalic acid removes the iron salt and copper salts, and now the PCB is ready. We can take that PCB into our hands. So in the cleaning, first we will wash with the normal water and then we wash with the 5% oxalic acid. Now we dry this PCB. This PCB is sent for the drilling. What we do in this drilling process? Copper tracks are ready. Unwanted copper is removed. We know where the components are coming. We know the position of the components. We know the position of component leads. So we drill the component holes. For drilling the component holes, we can either manually drill if we are doing in the laboratory, or if we are doing in the industry, we use the CNC machines. These machines automatically performs the drilling. So two types of the drillings. One is manual drilling or CNC machine drilling. After the drilling, we place the components and we solder, then the PCB is ready. Okay, these are the different steps we use in the screen printing.